So I've used Football Manager to predict this year's Serie A and Serie B season. So let's have a look. You can see I'm already on Serie B. Unfortunately, Sampdoria lost the playoffs to Venezia. Venezia going back. And you can also see that Monza have won the league. But let's go have a look at the table. So we're looking at everything is like updated transfers right up until the day that I record this, which is the Friday. So, you know, there might be a few more transfers that go through in the next 2 weeks. I have transfers open in case anyone wants to sign anyone new as well. Lovely stuff. My Palermo has gone back up. I know that's kind of weird to say while I'm wearing a Sampdoria shirt. Sampdoria actually finished down in 7th. 4 teams relegated, of course. Carrarese, Padova, Pescara. It's a shame. I really like the Pescara shirt sometimes, and Virtus and Tella. But you can see up here, Monza, Palermo, and Venezia. They've all been in the Serie A before. They are going back to Serie A. So let's go have a look and see. Actually, I'm curious. Who was... Inzaghi is the manager, but I'm curious who their top scorer this season was. Let's have a look. For the top scorer for Palermo was Matteo Brunori. So he's their main striker. Actually, he's really good for Serie B. So let's go have a look and see who won Serie A in 2025-2026. I know the date says the wrong date, but that's fine. Right, let's go. So Serie A and Inter have won the league again. I mean, again, Napoli were last year's champion. Inter were champions the year before that, but they're back on top now. So Inter winning the league with Christian Chivu in charge. Let's go. I mean, let's see if they made any transfers, in fact. See if there's anyone new who came in. Alberto Moliero came in. We should have some other ones down here. I'm trying to work out which ones were the new ones. Chukwueze. Weirdly, they bought in Chukwueze on loan from AC Milan, crossing the... well, not really crossing anything because it's all in the San Siro. Actually, wait. So in real life this season, they might not be playing all their games at the San Siro because they're going to go play some games in Perth or something weird. I didn't simulate that in the game. They also loaned Christian Pulisic, also from AC Milan. What is going on there? And Yusuk as well they bought in. So kind of weird, they bought in both of these from Inter Milan with a big loan fee. I wonder if anyone went the other way. I wonder if anyone went to AC Milan. Does not look like they got rid of anyone to AC Milan. The biggest league, which I think he might be going in real life. Bisek to Wolves. But there we go. Inter won Serie A. Let's see what else Inter did. See how they got in the Champions League, for example. They got to the round of 16 where they were knocked out by Manchester City. That's a good point. Super Cup semi-final. They got knocked out by Lazio. So we know Lazio were in the final of the Super Cup. We'll see if we can find out who the other team is shortly. But let's go back to the league and just have a quick look at some of the other teams. So Juventus finished second with their top scorer, 23 goals for Vlahovic, which is a lot. Let's see how they got on in the Champions League. They got to the quarter-final of the Champions League, knocked out across 2 legs by Arsenal. They knocked out Barcelona the round before. Good result there, a draw and a win. And then we have their cup performance, knocked out by Napoli in the cup. In terms of transfers, let's see who they bought in. Karabekh. They bought in from... Who did they get Karabekh from? From Sparta Prague and Nimbombe. I'm not sure if he's already there. He doesn't look great either. I mean, he's a youngster. So they just brought in some youngsters. Let's see. So Lazio actually managed to finish third. There's not much in it, to be fair. Inter only win the league by just 4 points. Lazio is just 4 points behind. Just 3 points behind Juventus, and Napoli only 1 point behind them. AS Roma a little bit off the boil there, a little bit further behind. Gasparini, of course, coming in for his first season. His old team, Atalanta, managed to get the Conference League slot. The slots actually go nicely down. So they've got a 5th Champions League slot, which is interesting. I wonder how they've got that 5th slot. I wonder if they got the coefficient or if we've got the Europa League winner in there somewhere. Let's have a look at Roma. It's possible that Roma, we can see they've won the semi-final of the Europa League. They also won the Coppa Italia final against AC Milan. Do they win the Europa? They lost the Europa to Celtic. Wow. So Celtic have won the Europa League. Big one for Celtic fans. So I'm curious then how the extra Champions League position has come about. But maybe we have a Champions League. Let's check Napoli. Let's see what Napoli did. Napoli got knocked out in the Coppa semi-final, Champions League round of 16. I guess the other team... Was it AC Milan in the Champions League this season? I don't think it is. I don't think they got European football at all. The other team in the Champions League this year is Atalanta, maybe, or Bologna. I can't remember who finished 3rd or 4th last season. It is Atalanta. They didn't make it through. So, yeah, I'm curious where that 5th spot came from. Probably the coefficients. Relegated, by the way, Torino, which is a big surprise. Torino have some really, really strong players. I'm surprised they've gone down with some of the players they have. You know, Zapata's maybe getting on a bit, but some of the other players here definitely should be good enough to be keeping them up. Lazzaro, Vlasovic. They got double Lazzaro? Are these different Lazzaros? They are, aren't they? They've just bought that one in this season from Almeria, so they've ended up with double Lazzaros. I don't know how they managed to do that, but yeah, they've both been relegated, along with Pisa and Cremonese, probably the two which might also go down here. Cagliari just avoiding the drop. Parma staying up as well. Como. Now Como's an interesting one because they've bought in Cesc Fabregas, the manager. They've bought in some big players the last season or two. They've got a bit of money behind them. You know, players like Origi is there. We've got Dele Alli somewhere here. Yeah, Dele Alli there. Did they play him? 22 sub appearances. But there's a couple of good players hanging in around Como. They often pick up some free transfers and stuff in the game as well. So Harvey is there as well. But it is a bit of a mixed team. Batterina as well is there at Como. So Como are like starting to improve. Keep an eye on Como in the next few years to see how they get on. Lecce staying up, Hellas Verona, Udinese, Sassuolo, Fiorentina, Genoa, Atalanta. Now, the only team to sack their manager is, in fact, AC Milan, who sacked Massimiliano Allegri right at the end of the season. So Allegri has gone from AC Milan. And let's check quickly, see if we can find who won the Super Cup. So we know Napoli will be in it, so we'll check via Napoli. The Super Cup was actually won by Napoli. They beat Lazio in the final. And Lazio knocking out Inter in the semi-final and Napoli knocking out Fiorentina. So the Super Cup is won by Lazio. Sorry, Napoli. Conte staying in charge there. I wonder if they made any transfers themselves. Kylian Lopez and Miguel Gutierrez. Did they lose anyone? Giovanni Simeone? They lost Giovanni Simeone to River Plate. Dead cheap as well. We've just been playing our network save on the FM show pod. And Giovanni Simeone is worth a lot more money than that. Losing him for 2.1 million is really, really cheap. Obviously, Kvara and Elmas and stuff all went already, Kim. Like, some of these are holdovers from how the data update has to transfer all those transfers over. So anything the 3rd of the 7th or earlier has already happened in real life. But everything after, I think, Hassa is there. They got rid of him there. So that is the Serie A and Serie B predicted. And of course, we've got Inter as the champions this year. Let me know if you think this is going to be close to what the real Serie A looks like. I can't see it being too far off. Napoli seem to have like one season on, one season off, as evidenced by that football shirt right there, which they got relegated in. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Torino shouldn't do that badly. AC Milan maybe a little bit better, but certainly every team is about roughly. I mean, Atalanta is going to be interesting to see how they get on without Gasperini for the first time in 12, 13 years. He's been there for a long, long time. So let me know if you're a Serie A fan, what you think of this table. Would you be happy with it if this is one of your teams? Otherwise, let me know which other leagues I should do the predictions for. I'm going to chuck a load up there. I'm going to do the top 5 leagues. We'll have a look at them and the Champions League and stuff. We don't know who the Champions League winner is yet. It's all this same world that I've created. So go check it out. Come find out who the Champions League winner is. The Europa League, the Europa Conference League. We'll see. Maybe we'll find out how Roma got their position.